The 2023 KBO season is now about a week old. It all started last Saturday, April 1st, so I am a little late with this one, but that's 6 games down in a 144 game schedule, so it's still a new season. I'm not too late. Every year, some of the best KBO pitchers are foreign pitchers, and they don't often stay too long, so the top 10 KBO pitchers list looks very different every year. Some of the top pitchers last year, like Wilmer Font, Drew Rucinski, and Robert Stock, are now back in the major league system. Usually there's one top Korean pitcher jumping over to MLB, or returning from MLB, but none of that this year. The top Korean pitchers from the 2022 season are back for this season, but we can't expect them all to perform exactly as they did a year ago. So today's ranking of the top 10 KBO starting pitchers is based on how I expect them to be in 2023, not how they were last season. As always, if you disagree, leave a comment. And here we go. Number 10, Lee Lee, a 20-year-old left-hander for the Kia Tigers. 2022 was only his second KBO season and his first full season. He made 28 starts and threw 154 innings, averaging 5.5 per start. That'll probably increase as he gets more experience. 3.86 ERA ranked 17th. 131 WHIP was 14th. But he's got the potential to bring those numbers down. He was 4th in the KBO in strikeouts with 161, or 9.4 strikeouts per 9 innings. This year he's made one start and got the win, going 5 innings and allowing just one. Fastball tops out around 95, also throws a good slider, knuckle curve, and circle changeup. Though I wouldn't have put him in the top 10 at the end of last season, given his stats for the year, he has great potential, and he's only 20. He'll be one of the best this year. Number 9, Raul Alcantara, a 30-year-old right-hander for the Doosan Bears. 3 years ago, he was a 20-game winner and the recipient of the Chae Dong-won Award as the best pitcher in the KBO. The last 2 years were spent in NPB with the Hanshin Tigers, where he was used mostly in relief. 2021 ERA was 3.49. 2022 it shot up to 4.70. Not only that, he gave up more hits and more home runs, while striking out fewer batters. Maybe he's more comfortable in a role as a starting pitcher, which is what he'll be doing once again this season, and maybe he's just better against KBO hitters. So far his return hasn't gone so well. He gave up 4 runs in 4 innings in his first start. I'm betting that he will return to being a great starting pitcher in the KBO, but not as dominant as he was a few years ago. Number 8, Hyungjun So, 21-year-old right-hander for the KT Wiz. 2022 numbers, 27 starts, 171 innings, for an average of 6 1/3 per start. ERA 3.05, 10th best in the KBO. 115 WHIP, ranking 8th. Not big on strikeouts, only 117 last year, tied for number 21. Tied for 4th with 13 wins. He was 13-6 for the year. 18 of his 27 starts were quality starts. He's already putting up great numbers, and he's only 21. Could be a lot better. But started this season with a rough outing. 9 runs allowed in 2 1/3 innings. Number 7, Albert Suarez, a 33-year-old right-hander for the Samsung Lions. He pitched for the San Francisco Giants in 2016 and 2017, for the Tokyo Yakult Swallows from 2019 to 2021. Last year was his debut in the KBO. 29 starts, 173 innings, almost 6 innings per start. 4th best in the KBO with a 2.49 ERA, 116 WHIP, ranked 9th. Number 6 in strikeouts with 159, 8.2 strikeouts per 9. Got roughed up in his season opener this year, though. 3 innings, 6 runs on 9 hits, and 2 walks in a no decision. But we have every reason to believe he'll shake it off and be just as good as he was a year ago. Number 6, Eric Jokic, a 33-year-old lefty now in his 5th season with the Kiwoom Heroes, after only playing 1 season at the major league level. That was with the Cubs in 2014. In 2022, he threw 185 innings and 30 starts, or about 6 innings per start. ERA 2.57, WHIP 1.09, ranking 6th in both categories. Struck out 154, which put him in the top 10, and only issued 33 walks. 22 quality starts overall, and he looked okay in his first start of 2023. 5 innings, 2 runs, in a no decision, though he did give up 9 hits in the game. Number 5, Casey Kelly, a 33-year-old right-hander for the LG Twins. A major league pitcher from 2012 to 2018, he is now in his 5th KBO season, all with the LG Twins. 2022, 27 starts, 166 innings, a little over 6 per start. ERA 2.54, WHIP 1.08, number 5 in both categories. 153 strikeouts, ranked 9th. Led the league in wins, his record was 16-4. Only 35 walks and 10 home runs, only 24 extra base hits allowed. All those numbers were improvements from the previous 2 seasons. Bad start to this season, though. 6 runs allowed in 5 1/3 innings in a loss. That included 2 home runs. Number 4, 31-year-old Adam Plutko, another LG Twins pitcher. After 5 major league seasons with the Indians and Orioles, he made his KBO debut in 2022. Started 28 games and threw 162 innings, a little under 6 per start. ERA 2.39, WHIP 101, third in both of those categories. A record of 15-5, tied for second in wins. Struck out 149 batters, just outside of the top 10. 18 out of 28 in quality starts. Started this year by throwing 5 scoreless innings to earn the win. Number 3, Changmo Koo, a 26-year-old lefty for the NC Dinos. In 2020, he was arguably the KBO's best starting pitcher, with a perfect record of 9-0, 12 quality starts in 14 games started, averaged 6 2/3 innings per start, and struck out 102 batters in 93 innings. But then came the injuries, and he missed the entire 2021 season. Last year, he came back and threw 111 innings in 19 starts, 11 quality starts, ERA 2.10, WHIP 108, 108 strikeouts for an average of about 1 per inning. Did not look good in his first outing this year. 6 runs surrendered in 4 1/3 innings in a no decision. But when he's healthy, he's one of the best. If he can stay healthy for the whole 2023 season, he will be one of the top KBO pitchers once again. Number 2, Kwang Hyung Kim, a 34-year-old lefty for the Korean Series champion SSG Landers. He has had a great pitching career. Started in 2007 when the Landers were known as the SK Wyverns. One of the best in the KBO in 2019, going 17-6 with a 2.51 ERA. The next 2 years were spent with the St. Louis Cardinals, where he had a 2.97 ERA and 145 innings over 2 seasons, mostly as a starter. Last year he returned to his old ball club, threw 173 innings in 28 starts, over 6 innings per start. ERA 2.13, WHIP 107, 4th in WHIP and 0.02 of a point behind the ERA leader. A win-loss record of 13-3 and 153 strikeouts. He made 1 start this season, 5 innings, 1 run for the win. He does not appear to be slowing down. Just 2 years ago, he was a reliable starting pitcher in MLB. Probably still could be if he wanted to. But he's back home now, where he is one of the absolute best in the KBO. Before we get to number 1, here are a few other starting pitchers that could be considered for the top 10. David Buchanan, a 33-year-old right-hander for the Samsung Lions. One of the top pitchers in the KBO the last 3 years. Top 10 in ERA in 2022 at 3.04, about the same as in previous years. But his innings and strikeout rate have decreased, and his WHIP was up to 13.44. In his first start of 2023, he gave up 4 runs in 5 innings. I can see his ERA going over 3.50 this year. Still one of the better starting pitchers, but not one of the best. Dan Straley, a 34-year-old right-hander for the Lotte Giants. 3 years ago, he was the KBO league leader in strikeouts with over 200. Last year, he returned to the Major League system, pitching at AAA Reno, but it wasn't going so well, and late in the season, he made a return to the KBO, as the Giants were making a playoff push. And he looked good in his return. 11 starts, 62 innings, 55 strikeouts, ERA 2.31, WHIP 122. Could very well be a dominant KBO pitcher again. But in his last full KBO season in 2021, his ERA was 4.07, WHIP 138, about 1 strikeout per inning. Still very good, but nothing like he was in 2020, so I didn't put him in the top 10 here, but it was tempting to do so. Young Pyo Ko, a 31-year-old right-hander for the KT Wiz. Last year he threw 182 innings in 28 starts. That's an average of 6.5 per start. ERA 3.26, number 11 in the KBO. 117 WHIP, number 10. Struck out 156 batters, ranking 7th. 7.7 strikeouts per 9. 21 quality starts. He's pitched 1 time this year, in relief. Got 2 batters out, allowed 1 hit, but nothing else. Feels like there should be a place for him in the top 10, but I'm leaving him out. 29-year-old lefty Wes Benjamin, another Wiz pitcher. Last year made 17 starts with an ERA of 2.70. So far so good this year, 1 start, 6 scoreless innings. 30-year-old right-hander Eric Fetty, a full-time starting pitcher for the Washington Nationals a year ago, now with the NC Dinos, where he's made 1 start with 5 scoreless innings. Seems like he could be great in the KBO, but a good major league resume and 1 good start in the KBO is no guarantee. And the number 1 starting pitcher in the KBO to start the 2023 season is Woo Jin An, a 23-year-old right-hander for the Kiwoom Heroes. The best pitcher in the KBO in 2022. 30 starts, 196 innings, most innings thrown in the league, averaged over 6.5 per start. Led the league in ERA 2.11, WHIP 0.95, and strikeouts 224, 30 more than the next highest strikeout total. No doubt the best pitcher in the KBO, would have won the Chaedong-won Award, but due to his history of bullying going back to his high school years, he was disqualified from the award and it was given to Kim instead. Not only that, he was not chosen to play for Team Korea in the WBC. Best pitcher in the country, but would have been a PR disaster. He's already made history this year. On opening day, he struck out 12 batters, an opening day record, and threw 6 scoreless innings in a no decision, picking up right where he left off last season. And that's it, my top 10 pitchers in the KBO for the 2023 season. Let us know what you think down in the comments. That's all for this one, and until next time, this is Baseball International. See ya.